Welcome to Rural Ministries Reflection, which this week, recognising that the written word doesn't float everyone's boat, comes to you in the form of a short video. I've been across at the farm this morning. I've been cutting the grass there, which has given me an opportunity to reflect on a whole bunch of things that have been going on in my life recently. And I wanted to take this opportunity to share this reflection based around the whole idea of learning to receive. Learning to receive. Last Saturday evening, whilst we were at home, my wife Ruth received a message from a friend who said that she'd made a chicken and mushroom risotto and she had a couple of portions left. Would we like them? Now, please bear in mind, my wife Ruth is a wonderful cook. She's also the kind of cook that would always be the one to bake a cake for someone in need or throw together that casserole for that family who just needed a little bit of support right now. But here, the tables were turned. Ruth the cook became the one to receive. Similarly, at the farm, I have some wheat that's due to go out from the sheds and wagons at the end of this week, but because of other commitments, I can't be there to load those wagons. I've been offered help. Someone else can do the job. I've absolutely no doubt that they're thoroughly competent. But here again, the tables have been turned and I become the one to receive. And sometimes I just find that so hard. I don't know about you. So I wondered this morning as I thought, how have I become conditioned? How have you become conditioned? Do you find it easy to receive from others? Or have we as Christians made this whole concept of receiving into some kind of transactional deal? I have to say, I find the give and you shall receive idea is really easy. I do something good or kind or nice for someone, I give to them, then I receive. That's how it works, right? It's a simple transaction, isn't it? I think this week I'm learning or relearning that's not how our God works. Because what if you've got nothing to give? What if you're burnt out, you're unwell? Perhaps that's where you find yourself today. And that's what got me this week. Because in our situation, there's some important context to this, as Ruth, my wife, is not too well at the moment and has just started a course of chemotherapy. Of course, we're finding that tough. We feel like we've got nothing to give and we're having to learn to receive. There's a humility in receiving when you've got nothing to give in return. Learning to receive is challenging the stereotypical independent, strong Christian leader or farmer in me. We may even sometimes bump up against what someone once called that huge capital P in our heart, P for pride. Surely our conditioning tells us receiving from others is a sign of weakness, isn't it? But Jesus himself knew how to receive. His own baptism in Matthew 3 was carried out not by the respectable local minister, but by John the Baptist, with clothes of camel hair, chomping on locusts and wild honey. Why did the Son of God need to receive baptism anyway? Again, in Luke chapter 7, Jesus receives from what many versions of our Bible call a sinful woman. And also in John chapter 4, that wonderful story of the woman at the well, where Jesus asks, "Please give me a drink," and so he receives. Interesting to note also, isn't it, that it's not the religious elite who Jesus is receiving from, but very often those who sections of today's society might well frown upon. And indeed, the good friend whom Ruth and I received from this week is not part of a worshipping community. We usually meet her in the village pub. But this week she became to us the very hands and feet of Jesus. Now, before a closing quote, a quick caveat to these thoughts. Please don't give up doing good. I'm not advocating that. Don't stop serving others, but do so with the right motives, the right heart. That's how I'm challenging myself. Not seeking to receive from yourself via the other side of any kind of crazy transactional deal. Don't give up doing good. But please, as I'm relearning, learn to receive. A quote from a chap called John Donahue, which appears in the Northumbria Community Celtic Daily Prayer. You need to be generous to yourself in order to receive the love that surrounds you. You can suffer from a desperate hunger to be loved. You can search long years in lonely places far outside yourself. Yet the whole time, this love is but a few inches away from you. It's at the edge of your soul, but you've been blind to its presence. We must remain attentive in order to be able to receive. Thank you.